How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Fallout 4. I'm back in Taffington Boathouse, and I'm gonna be kind of bordering off the other side of the house. Last episode, I put together the other room, made it two separate bedrooms, and I'm gonna be doing the same thing pretty much to this side. Just making some extra room for beds inside of this house before I start building downstairs. Um, this is kind of a RP thing, what I do with these decorations wise, and you'll see what I mean at the end. I kind of wanted to still do like an office thing since this room behind us, or well, what's gonna be a room, is like a desk and a safe and stuff. I wanted to do something similar and have a computer and everything still. And I ended up changing this bathroom completely. I thought about having a door, but it didn't fit. I just make this bathroom into like a bedroom, pretty much. This doesn't include any of my like beds, like the bunk beds that I usually build, because I already have one in the room right next to this. And so this kind of just has mattresses scattered around a little bit. But I feel like that's a little bit more realistic than like them having like the bed frames and everything like that. But yeah, so I go ahead and as you can see, I put like a door frame on this side, facing the other way. And I thought about making it two smaller rooms, but I ended up changing my mind about how I wanted to do this. And so instead of doing what I'm doing right here, I go ahead and change my mind here in a minute when I actually go to close it off. And the reason I'm showing you guys this is because I wanted to show you my whole creative process. So this gave me the idea of doing what I do end up doing to the entire build. So I ended up turning those walls to face you, so that you could have a little bit more room around the corner, because like that first room that I built in the last video, it was a very small room, and so like as you can see, I kind of wanted to do something similar where this wall goes all the way up against that wall for the other bedroom, and they kind of have like a narrow little hallway for a bedroom. I just like the small spaces or whatever. But I'm going to do the same thing with this as I did in the other builds, where I kind of roof it off separately from the rest of the house, because I don't want the ceiling to be like a foot or two above where my walls stop. So right now I'm just trying to glitch that in at a distance that I think is gonna completely get it to the other wall, and I end up not doing what I'm doing right now. Like I said, I just wanted to show you guys my full creative process and show you that like some of the mistakes that I make while trying to build and stuff. I thought that for some reason that this would work, and ends up being too long, and I figure like what's the point of doing that if I can just add it later. And again, like I'm still trying to get it at the right angle, thinking that I can use the pillar glitch to get the plywood on the ceiling later, but I finally realized that I'm doing it in the wrong order. So I go ahead and fix the order that I'm trying to do it in. So now I'm just going to go ahead and lay out. I was trying to see right here if it would actually just like clip to it, but it doesn't. Or snap to it, not snap to it, but let me actually place it on top of the walls, but it doesn't. So pretty much all I'm doing here is trying to get it as even as I can and make it look nice. And so I go ahead and I pillar glitch this actually, which I usually don't do this. I just wanted it to be kind of flat though across without it kind of raising up really high on one end. Uh, this was just basically me trying to get it even, and it looks pretty good, I think. Right there, I think that it's at a good height. And so on this last bit, I didn't really mind that it was a little bit lifted up, because it's not like if I had the other one lifted, the next one was going to be higher. I was just trying to do some forward thinking and think about what it would look like when it was finally done being built. And then this was kind of just for like detail and texture, even though you literally can't see it. That's just for me, I guess. Just some texture to it so that it's not just flat pieces all the way across. And I didn't think that there would be enough room. You'll see in a moment what I mean. When I place it down and I move it upstairs, I didn't think there was going to be enough room in the space between the plywood and... Let's see, it's kind of... I had such an issue with how glitchy this is. Like, trying to pillar glitch this in, it doesn't go as far as to the ground as I need it to. It's kind of still floating. And, I mean, I didn't have a really good way to fix that in post, so I went ahead and just fixed it. Like, because sometimes you can add a floor or some plywood and it kind of fills in the space, or walls, but I wanted it to be as close to the ground as possible so that I didn't have to worry about filling in that gap too much. And then right here, I was trying to get it to be where the two boards on this wall kind of were even, and it looked kind of like it went together, but I was afraid that it wouldn't be lined up well enough. So now I have this huge gap at the end, and so if you didn't notice downstairs, there was a half wall already out, and so I went ahead and I picked that up, and I end up using this at the end, trying to get it to be up against the wall to the left a little bit better. And it does end up having like a little hole at the end, but I didn't mind. And so right now I'm pretty much cleaning up this room because I decorate the entire room, and you'll see what I mean here in a moment. But as you can see, it's no different on the outside. I just like to start my tours outside. But if we go upstairs, you'll see that decorated it looks a lot better. I just like to add some stuff on top up there, and I added a bunch of chests and stuff and a cabinet on the wall. In this room, like I said, I just textured the floor with some plywood to make it different than the rest of the house, and then put some crates and some beds lying around, and then just some stim packs, Rad-X, stuff like that survivors are going to need. And then in this room, this actually was kind of an RP thing. This did take a little bit. I made a little shelf like desk thing, and I filled it with junk food and sodas and stuff, and then put comic books all over it. And so I imagined that that was like the nerdy guy of this settlement, and he's got Silver Shroud cards and then some posters on the wall of Unstoppables and Silver Shroud. And all that's on the table is Unstoppable and Grognak the Barbarian comics. And I just kind of thought this guy was the nerd of the settlement, the one guy that likes comic books and stuff. But if you guys like this video, make sure you subscribe. Check out some of my other videos while you're here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.